any guarantees, but I will say that we're trying to make a step forward in the environmental impact of cars with these systems and not backwards. And so there are some things that are going on. Now, maybe Rick, you can speak to this too. I know that you have a vast experience in the industry as well. And one of the issues that have come up again and again has been, can some of these sensor enhancers that are on the market, and we're not going to be endorsing any of those,
correct,
but can some of these sensor enhancers have a negative impact on the engine of the car? And have you heard about any cases where people are having negative impact with their cars using these?
Well, there's two things. One, there's people that are putting their computer system into the port and changing the O2 sensors and so forth. That's clearly tampering with the emission system. We don't recommend that. What we're recommending is we're taking specific water, H2O, creating a gas that we're able to put in and mix within your system that you have, a computer system in the car that is either going to be set right or it's not, and then you have to work with it. But you can also, by the amount of hydrogen that's going into the air intake, you can play with the valve system of how much is going in. So you're literally able to use off of the canister, if you will. You have an air intake possibility there of
right,
gauging outside. You can add more, you can add less. It's very good to have that, because then instead of working with a computer, you can lean it out actually on the generator itself.
mm-hmm,
But you know, as far as lawsuits and stuff, I haven't really kept a pulse on it. And you know, those that are putting the machinery, the computers, and tampering with it that way, it's, you know, the O2 sensor is going to read the moisture. Moisture is always going to be hotter. But the real reason I'm interested in hydrogen gas, and we all are, and everyone else out there as well, is this is a free source of energy. And it's been around a long time. It hasn't been used. And we're in an economic time now that we're able to use a free source of energy made through a simple apparatus and used on a car, or even at that point, any engine, fossil fuel,
combustion engine,
can
yes,
be used as a fuel. Scooters.
I've heard people putting them on lawnmowers.
Absolutely, and lawnmowers, scooters,
boats,
outboard motors on boats.
Yep. The key is we're reducing the pollutants, and we have scooters that are absolute polluters. When we can lower the emissions on that, where they have no solution to this day of how to deal with these pollutants. India and China, I've heard numbers of 350 million scooters between those two countries. That is a lot of pollution. And then when you get into a point, you know, hydrogen, put it on there, it'll lower it, it'll help it. Cars, a little more sophisticated because they have the computer banks on it. But the one thing that is really the number one factor here is we're taking what we have most plentiful, water, H2O, creating a gas that's free. Your car, you're running it anyway. It's to build the system, like you said, they're out there. There's many different, the canister type and so forth. There's key things that you have to look for when you're looking at it. It's got to have a control on the intake pressure. Certain things in it have to really make sense. If you have a way of making hydrogen off of the bottom, you have sediments within the water itself. If you use tap water or distilled water, most tap water has a lot of chlorine in it, and it'll build up inside like a calcium buildup. But the key is, I go right back to it, we are in a point in time that we are taking a free source and creating a gas and using it. It's incredible.
Well, you know what? You raised some really great, some great points there. There's a couple of things I want to take off of what you said. One thing for sure, we have a client of our company that we put our system in, and we